What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And in this video I'm going to be going through my round 15 AFL tips and predictions, as well as obviously going through my round 14 tips and predictions and the big calls. Now, before we do get into it again, I just want to say again sorry for not getting this video out on the Tuesday. I was flat out on the Tuesday. I don't know, I was just like, well, do I really want to get another rushed tipping video out? That's probably not going to, I just didn't want to get a rubbish video out, so I thought wait till Wednesday again. And if anything, I think they changed the fixtures on Tuesday, so it'll be, the tips will be more suited to the actual fixtures that are going to be in place for round 15. So if anything, it's a good thing, but I guess you can say it in the same way it's not. It's a quick round, and I almost got a 5 out of 5. I tipped Geelong to beat Bulldogs in a thriller. I tipped Port to beat Gold Coast, Brisbane to beat North, Giants to beat Carlton, 4 out of 4. And then I went for the bit of an upset. I went Hawthorn, and I almost got this one right, but Essendon won that in the end. So 4 out of 5, you'll take it, but you know, I could have gotten 5 out of 5. It was probably around where most probably got either the 4 or the 5s. And in the big calls, I was meant to get 3, and I definitely didn't do that. Rowan, Cameron and Hawkins didn't kick 9 or more. Gold Coast didn't kick the first 2 goals of the game. North actually did lead in the second quarter, but then this one pissed me off. I needed Toby Green and Harry Mackay to kick 8 or more goals, and with 2 minutes to go, or 5 minutes to go, fucking Green hit the post, and then with 2 minutes to go, he had a shot but he passed it off, so I actually could have got that one right, but it wouldn't have mattered because in the last game, Hawks didn't kick 6 or more in a quarter, so I ended up with 1, which means, yeah, the 2 punishments that I had to do from the week before were the cake one, Mitch Ryan cake, and the Uber Eats one. And I said before I was pretty busy the last couple of days, wasn't able to get them out, but no excuses. There'll be punishments out to you in the next video. That is a promise, I'll tell you that for a fact. And before we do get into the tipping, let's go through the tipping comp real quick. I probably should be closing this soon, considering that you know, I've gotten so many people entering. I probably don't think having more people enter is a good idea. I'm slipping down to 72, so I'm not going to win. I'm on 82 tips. Nathan E's on 90. Sarish Eagles 89, Harry Sinnott 89, Excellent 88. So I think those people are going to be fighting for the $100, not me. Let's get into the round 15 tips. And the first game on Thursday night, actually tomorrow. So that goes to show I'm a bit late to the party. 7:30 at the Gabba, we've got Brisbane taking on Geelong. And this one is a very, very tough one to predict because both sides are in some pretty good form. The Cats, I think in the power rankings, they might even be the most informed team in the comp and up at the top of the power rankings, whilst the Lions, they're up there obviously with a mark. I think those 2 teams, along with the D's and the Dogs, are the best form in the comp. I think they are the benchmark. So this one will be an absolute thriller, and I might stream this if I go to the footy on Friday. Ooh, I don't know. I mean, Geelong had a really impressive win over the Dogs, but it was just such a good game. The Cats just found a way to get over the line. The Lions beat the Roos in the scrap, but they were never playing really to their potential. They were playing in 4th, 5th gear for a lot of it, and you know, we all knew they were going to end up winning, but it was a closer game than what we probably expected. So this one, I think it has got to be another close game. I don't know. I think because the Lions are at the Gabba, that gives them the advantage, but the Cats can actually beat them there. Like, they've done it before, so I'm going to go for a bit of an upset here, and I'm going to go the Cats at the Gabba to win the game by 8 points. With my big call will be there are 9 or more lead changes throughout the game. Now, the next game, we've got Friday night footy, and this is probably the first game in Melbourne where crowds are back. It's of course the Saints game. We've got Richmond taking on St Kilda at the MCG on a Friday night. Don't really know why they've still given the Saints Friday night time slots. And I know Richmond this season haven't been as good as they have been for the past few. They're still going to kick our asses, let's be real. I mean, they had a bye last week, both teams, but the week prior, Richmond, they lost by 4 in an absolute thriller. I didn't get to watch most of it, but geez, it was up and down this game, and it went down to the wire. Kennedy broke the Tigers' hearts, but yeah, they probably should have won that one, Richmond, at the end. And then St Kilda, well, we all know what happened. Another thriller, you could say, but just in the wrong reason for the Saints. We're up by 36, and we found a way to mess up. So it's not our year. We've just done everything wrong this season. And last time these 2 sides played, which was earlier this year on Matty's match, Richmond beat us by 89, and that was at Marvel. So I don't know. I mean, I think we're getting a few plays back after the bye. I don't think that's going to really do much. I mean, if I go to this game, I don't know if I will because it's a 25,000 capacity. But if I do go to it, then I'll vlog it. And but if not, I'll probably just stream it instead. But yeah, I think Richmond have got to win this. I'll be shocked. I'll be shocked if they lose it. So I'm going to go Richmond here. Definitely, obviously, no denying going Richmond by 33. And the Tigers will lead at every break as my big call, which is probably not even a big call. Next game, we've got North Melbourne take on Gold Coast at Blundstone Arena. Now, this is another game the North are playing at Blundstone. I think they've played the last 3 games at Blundstone. I don't know if they're all been home games, but I mean, it's a good thing for them because they play, in my opinion, their best footy there. In the video I did last week, or the last tipping video, I made a mistake and said that the Roos were 1 win and 1 draw at Blundstone, but I forgot that that North win wasn't actually at Blundstone, it was at UTAS, and then they also played Melbourne there as well. So wasn't really quite up to date with the statistics, but I still think this one is a very, very good chance for North to win. I haven't tipped North at all throughout this season, but I think this might be the first game where I'm actually going to tip them because they're in, I would say, better form than the Suns. The Suns were just average, like just not even average. They just didn't show up really. That's just a classic shitty Suns performance last week against the Power. Down by 50, they just never looked like winning. As for North, they actually looked maybe a sniff at half time. They just didn't have the legs to run out with the Lions, and the Lions are just a much classier outfit. But at Blundstone, and the Suns are probably one of the worst teams at the moment in terms of form, I will go North Melbourne to win this one. I'll go North Melbourne by 10. Big call is that North Melbourne come back from 3/4 time and win. And the next game we have, which is, I think, a moved fixture time slot. I don't know. They might have moved this one, but it's Collingwood taking on Fremantle at Marvel Stadium. Now, this one's also a very interesting one. Could be a close one as well. 25,000 capacity at Marvel, so, you know, there'll be some fans there, which is good. Collingwood, you know, they won their last game for Bucks on Queen's birthday before the bye, and it was really, really impressive. They beat the D's, who were on top of the ladder. They beat the Crows away from home, and I think they did play the Cats in a crap game, but they competed. So Pies are actually not too bad of a side this year, I'm not going to lie. I mean, and so the Pies aren't really as bad as what we're all saying at the moment. I think they're not that bad of a side. Freo, they also had a bye, but knocked off the Suns in quite an easy win. And if they want to make finals with Dockers, they got to win this game. They just got to keep getting the wins, and they'll be they'll be up there with top 8 contention. So I don't know. This one's a tough one to predict. It's at Marvel, but the thing is, Marvel, the Pies don't really play too well at Marvel. I'm going to go for Freo though. Freo by 15 points. With my big call will be that there are 14 or more combined behinds scored in the first half, or in any half, I should say. And we move on to the next game, which is a Saturday night thriller. Well, I don't know if this will be a thriller, but it has every potential to be one. It's Essendon taking on Melbourne at the MCG. Essendon last week knocked off the Hawks in a pretty close game, and Jake Stringer absolutely dominant. 4 goals and 29 touches. He was just everywhere, and definitely man of the match. Demons, their last game that they did play was against the Pies in that Queen's birthday game, which they got knocked off, and I think the Pies did outplay them. They just they probably weren't expecting the Pies to play like that. So this one's going to be an interesting one. It's probably very likely that the D's will win this one. I know they have lost to a couple of poor teams this year for whatever reason, but I don't think they'll lose to the Bombers. I think it will be quite a close game actually. Bombers will take it up to them like they have been for the last month, but I think Melbourne should be too strong here, and I'll tip them by 17 points, with my big call being that Max Gawn has 43 or more hitouts. And the last Saturday encounter will be at the Adelaide Oval. I don't know if they're changing this due to restrictions, but I mean, it's Wednesday now. I don't know why they wouldn't have changed it already. I've got Port Adelaide taking on Sydney at Adelaide Oval, as I said before. One team's in good form, the other's in not so good form. But I guess when you're playing Gold Coast, you know, your form suddenly turns good, really. And if you, and not just the Suns, but if you're playing the Saints or the Blues, if you're playing them, your form will be good, even if it's crap. And whilst the Swans haven't been too ideal as of the last couple of weeks, they got smashed the Hawks at home. I mean, that was pretty shocking. And then you could say that beating the Saints by 9 points isn't very great, because let's face it, we're not a great side this year. So this one could be a close one. I don't know if Port will actually win this, because I don't know if they've beaten the top 8 side other than Richmond at home this year. They seem to fail against the best of the best. They failed against the Dogs, failed against the Lions, failed against the Eagles, and failed against the Cats. And now I know Sydney aren't as good as all those 4 sides, but Sydney I think are a top 8 side. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not the Power smash the Swans or win comfortably, or win in a close one, or lose. I think they'll win this. I think most will go for the Power, but I actually think this could be one of the games of the year. It has a potential to be. I think the Swans will take it up to the Power. But I'll tip Port in an absolute thriller. Port by 1 with my big call. Boak and Wines combined for 65 or more touches. Wines had, I think, 44 last week against the Suns. Next game, we've got GWS taking on Hawthorn. Now, this was a game that was moved. I think because Sydney are having a few cases. So it's been moved to the MCG, which is actually a very big move because the Hawks haven't actually beaten the Giants at Giants Stadium, believe it or not, in their history. So, you know, if they played it at Giants, it'd be an easy Giants win. But they've moved the they moved it to the MCG. So there's a small chance that maybe the Hawks could actually win this one. But it's going to be hard because I tipped them last week. In fact, whenever I tip the Hawks to win an upset, they fail on me. And the Giants, well, they knocked off the Blues quite easily. They're in some pretty good form as of late. So I think, you know, I'm going to go safe here and go the Giants. And I reckon they'll win it quite easily by 29 points. Hawthorn go goalless in any quarter is my big call. And the second last game of the round, we've got the West Coast Eagles taking on the West Coast Bulldogs. Now this could probably be a game of the round. This and the Lions v Cats game. I mean, honestly, I honestly don't know who's going to win this. This is a very tough one because the Eagles are flat track bullies. They are absolutely dominant at home, and the only team that knocked them off this year were the Bombers in remarkable fashion. However, the Dogs, well, they probably should have beaten the Cats last week at GMHBA Stadium, and they've done really well this season. Obviously, the Dogs, they've been up there. They've beaten the Dockers there at Optus, but I know that the Eagles are a step above the Dockers. I think that the Dogs will win this one. I think they're a better side overall, and if they play to their strengths, even though it is at Optus, I'm going to tip the Dogs by 11 points in a pretty close one. Big call will be that McRae has 35 or more touches and Kennedy has 3 or more goals. And the last game, we've got Carlton taking on Adelaide at Marvel Stadium. Now, I don't know if they're changing it to like an afternoon time slot, but from what it's been said at the moment, it's 4:40 PM, so the twilight fixture. Yeah, Adelaide. Well, we all know what happened in their last game. I don't want to explain it, but they got the win. They cromped St Kilda, and Carlton, they just keep on disregarding their theme song in the fact that they're the team that never let you down. They've been letting their fans down since 1996, the year after they won the flag. You just have to think that the Blues can win this one. I mean, if they can't beat the Crows at home, then who the hell are they going to beat? They've been in absolute horrendous form, the Blues. Everyone's been saying, oh, they've been playing tough sides and all, but like, really, is that going to be your excuse? Yeah, obviously Carlton got done by 6 goals against the Giants last week, and it was just a poor showing from the Blues. I watched the whole game and I'm like, wow. Well, I've always known how it feels to be a supporter of a side that just lets you down. Yeah, I think the Blues should win this, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Crows do win it. It's probably going to be an even one in this regard, but I'm going to go Carlton by 12 with my big call will be that Carlton lead by 5 or more goals at any stage of the game. So there we go. Those were the tips and predictions for round 15. Hopefully we can get a 9 and a 9. And with the punishments, I know I haven't really done any since the eggplant. They're sort of difficult to do, and they were during the COVID times, but I'll be getting maybe both of them out next week. Definitely the one with Mitch I want to get out as well in the next video. And if you wanted to comment down and tip a punishment, that you want me to do, that's the most appropriate and all that I can actually achievably do. I've seen a lot of dumb punishments in the comments, which obviously I'm not going to do. Just because you comment a punishment and it does whatever reason get the most likes does not mean I'm just guaranteed going to do that. Like someone commented, I think, call the police and say that you're being held hostage. I might as well jump off a bridge if you want me to do that. But yeah, most likes, I'll do it for next week's episode. So comment down your punishments, comment down your tips down below, and let me know, what videos you want me to see me do in the next coming weeks. I'll stick to uploading these on Tuesday for the coming weeks. I wasn't able to get it out yesterday, but hopefully you don't mind. Hopefully you enjoyed the video nonetheless, and I'll see you guys very soon in my next video, which will be tomorrow.